What's up, guys? Nathan here, also known as Lil Okie the Monk on US Proudmore. Today, we've got another commentary for you. We've got an 18D other side, and this wasn't the cleanest key from us in general, but it was one that I was really happy with. Really, we performed a lot better than we usually do on a lot of specific stuff. And, we really just start out here. Here's a good example. This first pull here is always very scary. My tank double pulls it. He's a paladin. When Kings goes down, things get a little bit spooky, but we did a good job here. So we're opening it up. We double pull this. We try to kick the scribes. We try to leg sweep stuff to keep it in the flame patch. We slow it a little bit with piercing howl. We slow it a little bit with the flying serpent kick. And overall, the trash just gets deleted pretty nicely here. Nothing too scary. I've also been trying to get better about saving my Tiger's Lust for my tank on this pull because sometimes things get a little bit scary and it's nice to be able to give him that little burst of 70% movement speed. Like here, I'm probably asking like, hey man, do you need this? And he's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm face tanking this Warlord. Oh God, there's the Undying Rage. That's fine. He's okay. He's going to take a little love tap there, but I Tiger's Lust him so only gets hit once. Anyway, that's one thing I'm trying to prove on. Obviously, we can blow this trash up just fine, but I'm trying to get better about remembering not to just casually use Tiger's Lust on myself to keep up with the trash. Because sometimes when the tank is kiting, it's difficult to keep up with the trash, and using Tiger's Lust on yourself can be a bit of a DPS gain. But, a DPS gain isn't necessarily going to time your key. So we knocked out that trash, which was awesome. Usually if we play that first trash well, that's a good sign, but that's 50% of the struggle. The second 50% being this trash. So I have one SEF charge going into this, which is fine. I think I'm going to grab the Shadow Core here. We kick it, good, and then I pop an SEF charge, and we go to town. I leg sweep it, we keep it in the flame patch, and we try to just murder this trash here. We drop the Ring of Peace here, which is dual purpose, partially for kiting, partially also just kind of like, keep the mobs grouped up a little bit because as they start to spread out, our damage starts to go down. That's just how it works. And we're just trying to do our best here, kill these mobs. Very important to kick the Shadow Core. I don't think we called our kick super well here. No, it does look like it. Okay, looks like Sykes opened with her kick. I haven't kicked mine yet. Taylor Swift has already used his kick. But yeah, pretty clean. Again, this is, we're not committing too much here now. We're just combusting these pulls. Very nice cooldown. As you can see, I've started using a nice little tracker on the left side of my screen there, and it's been a lifesaver. Well, maybe not a lifesaver, but just a very nice convenience. As a DPS player, it makes it a lot easier to plan your cooldowns when you can actively see what cooldowns are available to your other players. I don't think I'm quite tracking Avatar yet in this clip, but I think in the next key, which is a 19 Mists of Tyrna Scythe, I will be tracking the Avatar because Avatar is a better cooldown than people give it credit for, especially when coupled with Colossus Smash and all that good stuff. So here, I'm doing one thing, which is a huge damage loss, personal damage loss, but I'm trying to get better about not playing for overalls so much and playing a lot more for what the key needs at a specific time so we can actually time keys, because I think my greedy gameplay has really hurt our progress overall as a group. You kind of just get in this mindset when you're playing like a meta class that your damage matters more than it does when it really doesn't. So yeah, as you can see, I full commit my cooldowns here. I commit Zuen, I commit Weapons of the Order, I commit my SEF charge, and we just pop that thing out. If I hadn't pressed that and nobody else had pressed anything, we probably would have seen 2 rages, which would have either meant insane gameplay / cooldowns for my healer or everybody dying. So I did not feel bad at all about pressing my cooldowns there. That's one thing that you can do when you're in organized groups. It doesn't necessarily translate super well into pug play, but one thing you can do in an organized group that I just absolutely love is you can play for, less overall damage, but stuff that's going to help your key and your team perform at its absolute best. So we're rolling the bursting a little bit here, but, it's not a big deal. Yeah, we don't even roll the bursting. It looks like we're rolling the bursting, but the bursting stacks are falling off right at the last second. So we're not actually getting too many bursting stacks going into Pride, which has really been the only difficult part about this week. As you guys probably know, bursting Volcanic Fortified is like probably the best push week in the game. There's probably some other fortified week that I'm forgetting that is better for meta comps, but for our comp, bursting Volcanic Fortified is an excellent choice. So here we're doing our best to kind of save cooldowns a little bit here. I think we could we do combust it. Okay, good. Yeah, so we weren't sure whether or not we wanted to combust, but we chose to at the end of the day, which probably wasn't a bad call because look how low we're dipping. Just from that 10 stack Pride right there starts to really rip you open. And you can see a touch of death there. That's another thing I'm starting to do, which is, again, goes back to playing less for overalls and more for the overall success of the group, which is saving my touch of death for the prideful. It may not seem like a big deal, but at around the key levels we play at, which is starting to be the sort of 19-20 range, TOD is still around a 5% of Prideful's max life execute, which again may not seem like that with an arms warrior and a mage in your group. May not seem like a big deal, but it can actually make quite a big of a difference. Sometimes somebody's ticking a little bit low. Maybe they can only survive one more big blast of like a 10-15 stack Prideful, but then you TOD it, and then your healer gets to breathe a sigh of relief. Or, maybe if you let them know beforehand, which is something I'm trying to get better about, which is communicating when I'm going to use specific cooldowns. They can know they don't need to commit things. They don't need a wings here. They don't need to aura mastery here. Maybe they don't even need to divine toll, although divine toll is a bit of a shorter cooldown. So usually it's fine to toll. I don't think that's going to be much of a damage loss. Okay, so we're going in here. We're going to the Hakar wing. Now, I don't know if I've uploaded a the other side yet, but we try to play our Hakar wing in a very specific way. We try to use the door disorient into Dragon's Breath on the first pack here. The next pack, we try to leg sweep and blinding for the Blade Stormers, and then we repeat the Dragon's Breath door strat. And you can see here we kind of misplayed a little bit, but that's just, I think our comms are getting a little bit messy at this point, so that's why we misplayed it. But usually we do a pretty good job of doing the door into DB strat. Making sure we kick these heals. There's a lot of casts here that are pretty nice to kick. Very rarely will they like completely wipe your run, but it's very annoying to see certain casts go off. Like seeing a heal go off, seeing a hex go off, even a lightning discharge can kind of hurt. So we kick the healing wave. Very nice. We're just working our way down here. These hexers have a unfortunately high amount of life on fortified. Very annoying mobs, annoying casts, large auto attacks. So we're rolling in here, and I don't remember what order we commit in here, but I think I do press cooldowns for efficiency. So this isn't like the biggest, damage gain in the world. I could save this for a bigger pack or something, but 3 targets is still really nice for Windwalker. And these mobs are also very annoying when they survive for too long. See, as you can see, we already committed the blinding, and they're probably going to try to do another blade storm here, and then we can leg sweep it, hopefully. Let's see what happens here. They should be going off in about a second. They both go off at the same time. Easy leg sweep, bam. So if we don't commit cooldowns there's a chance we maybe get a third blade storm, which not only is that a huge like sort of time loss, but having to deal with another blade storm when most of your party is melee is just it's just annoying. Nobody likes blade storm. Okay, we're getting another blade storm. Awkward. That's fine. Somebody's going to just kill it from range. We got a ghosty there. It's on my healer. So here we're going to do the same thing I said, which is Door of Shadows into Dragon's Breath. And I have a feeling they're going to get this absolutely perfectly this time. Let's see here. Bam. There's the door right there. We wait a second. They're getting lower. I don't know. I'm like not trusting them. I need to trust them more. I need to just focus on doing damage here. You can see I'm kind of like holding my punches because I'm like watching these guys. Yeah. See, that was kind of a misplay on my part. If I would have just, instead of staring, I know you guys can't quite see it, but in my mind, I can totally see what's like going through my brain during this key as I'm like staring at their cast bar like, oh God, is it going to go off? If I just sort of focus on doing damage here and let my friends, focus on doing their job, it makes it a little bit easier. You got to just trust. Very important. Okay, Sykes gets turned into a frog. That's a curse. Can't be removed. Oh wait, maybe it was removed. Never mind. I lied. Okay, so we're grouping these mobs up here. This is just a very nice urn pull because this is like the scariest pull in this hallway by far. Maybe the scariest pull, almost the scariest pull in the entire dungeon, but it becomes completely mitigated by the urn. You just pop the urn. The only thing that's kind of annoying is you can't really group them up super well because of how they run in, unless everybody lines perfectly and you wait till the absolute last second. Kind of annoying, but still, the urn just does a fantastic job of making this pull so much less scary than it needs to be. So we're kind of focusing the priest, I think, is what our tank is telling us to do, although I'm kind of just punching, whatever's in front of me. Not exactly the most efficient damage in the game. We can leg sweep this. We do. We wait for the second the Blade Stormer to go off, and then we leg sweep. Trying to kill these guys. I'm watching after the latest Windwalker nerfs. I'm just like constantly staring at my like Mark of the Crane stacks, being like, wow, there's no way I'm gonna have like 5 stacks in a situation like this in the future. Okay, see here, that's a very stupid fucking play. What I did there, that's unbelievably dumb. I see the ghost spawning. I don't know who it's on. There's a 20% chance it's on me, and if it's on me, there's a 100% chance it will one shot me with an auto. Ghosts are immune to CC that moves them around, yet for some reason I feel the need to try to haymaker it. Basically, the haymaker takes what is a 100% chance for me to survive and turns it into a 20% chance for me to die. So that was just a very silly play there. And I tried to get my eat off there. Pride spawns just a little bit too fast, so I'm just QQing that I'm not getting my 30 verse for my food. But that's okay. Hakar is going to die really fast. This is only an 18 quote unquote on fortified, so Hakar has like not even 2 million life. So we're going in, we're killing this pride. I'm the first death of this dungeon. Feels bad, man. We have the TOD though. We're trying really hard to save stuff here. This is actually one of the scarier prides in the dungeon, because usually at these higher-ish key levels, and by higher I mean like anything higher than like a 16, 17, you want to start committing cooldowns and defensives to prides. We can't really do that before Hakar because Hakar demands both. You really want to have all your offensive cooldowns going into the boss. Like he only has 1.593 million. Like that's so low life. You want to have all your offensive cooldowns going into Pride or going into Car, and you want to have all your defensive cooldowns. Because if you can pop all your defensive cooldowns during the blood shield and it does like no damage, he'll have like a non-existent shield. And then that becomes like a pretty big damage gain. And here I'm kind of like malding because my like Pelagos mastery bubbles are like stuck in Sid's corrupted blood, which is kind of funny. So see that? Like we popped our defensives. I don't think I even popped my defensives. Oh, no, there it is. There's the blood barrier. I popped my defensives a little bit late, but you can see that blood barrier just disappeared. It's like non-existent. So we pop in, we come around here, blood barrier's gone, boss is dead. Very fast Hakar there. That was a 35.36 second Hakar, according to my add-on there. I think it's a DBM keeps track of that, and you can see it in my chat right there. Well, you can't see it, but I can see it. Very quick, easy. And I had 0 Mark of the Crane stacks in there, so my damage loss on that boss would have been like maybe 5 to 10% with the new nerfs. And you might hear me over the course of this video and probably the next video QQing about the Windwalker nerfs, but at the end of the day, mathed out the way I play, the fact that I do go out of my way to hit different targets for Mark of the Crane, even though you don't need to due to the bug, it's not going to be too big of a damage loss. I'll lose like maybe 5% single target, maybe like 20 to 30% multi-target if I'm playing bad. It's fine. It's not a big deal. This class deals enough damage anyway. So, we're moving on here to the Arden Wheel Wing. Oh, I think, okay, this is not the key where it happens. We did a key, I think it was yesterday or something, where my healer, randomly needed to go poop because she consumed some Taco Bell. And yeah, I'm putting this in the video, Sid. I see you. Yeah, she had to / follow our mage during that ordeal. But sometimes you gotta go. What can you say? So I'm actually taking the haywire here, and this is kind of dumb. I don't really recommend doing this. As you can see, I dip way too low. But the reason why you can kind of get away with it on Monk is because you can actually couple Diffuse and Karma together. And Karma, of course, is a 50% of your max life absorb, and Diffuse is a 60% damage reduction. So they don't have any kind of like negative interaction. It's not like you're popping 2 damage reduction cooldowns. You're popping 1 absorb and you're popping 1 damage reduction. So they actually have pretty efficient gameplay together there. So I press both those buttons. It lets me reflect, pretty significant portion of the nature damage I'm getting hit by. And then it also allows me to sort of stay in DPS. And if I hadn't stayed in DPS, I promise we would have had 2 phases of those haywires. And 2 phases of those haywires, that's just like you're just sitting there behind line of sight, just like chilling, just waiting. Not super fun. So we're killing Arf here. We actually just call him a Woo in our group because when he spawns, he says a Woo. I know, very creative name. We're all really just artists at the end of the day. Trying to knock this guy out here. It's taking a little bit. That's fine. We got the headless client here. Headless clients are sleeper, very annoying mobs for melee. Nobody really talks about them because you can kind of just, their mechanics are very one-dimensional. But if you misplay them, that cast spinning up, or if you don't kick the discharges, Lord, you can take a lot of damage really fast. Because discharge, I believe, is a big old magic damage nuke on a random player. Look at that. See, I took a tick of spin up. If I would have taken 2 ticks of spin up, I would have just been dead. But anyway, if you don't kick the discharges and they all go on the same player, you're in for a world of hurt. Those things just fucking annihilate you. So we're just pushing forward here. As you can see, the affixes don't have too much bearing on this key overall. I mean, Fortified is noticeable. Some of the trash is a little bit tankier than I would like, but, you know, it's not too bad. So I don't think I pop cooldowns here. Maybe I pop cooldowns after the first Haywire, but the reason why I don't pop them initially is because I only have Fort Brew and Karma, which is not enough to tank a Haywire. It's not even close to enough. So yeah, that's why I don't pop that there initially, because it's like, okay, if I pop this now, I'm not going to be able to survive. I need to have Diffuse up if I'm going to do Diffuse Karma. Now this is shitty. Let's see what I try to do here. Okay, I don't try to cheese it at all. I play safe. This is smart. Look where Sev is. Look where my mage is. He's completely line of sighted, but he's still getting hit by fucking Haywire. That ability is fucking meme and a half. We kill it here. As you can see, it was a pretty significant time loss to have to line of sight there. So it would have been nice if I would have had Diffuse up. Then I could have diffused and I could have just stood there and I could have DPS that down. Would have been pretty beneficial. But that's okay. We're still moving on. We're still moving and shaking here. Click this here. For those of you that don't know, if you are an engineer, you can actually click that little red button and the little slimes will cease to sort of cross there and you don't have to play Frogger. It's actually kind of funny because I've been an engineer pretty much the entire expansion. I like haven't had to do the Frogger ever, and I had to do the Frogger on like one of my other characters recently, and I totally just spaced out. Like I was trying to do the fucking Frogger mechanic and I fucked up. Okay, now that was real embarrassing there. I probably could have Ring of Peace there. Like, I definitely could have just Ring of Peace and saved us that damage. And luckily, we're at low enough of a key level that was not an instant one-shot, but it was so close. Like, you can see, if you looked on my raid frames there, we all dipped so low there. So we're just continuing here on this double loop pull, kind of starting to fall apart a little bit here. We kind of always fuck up this pull. I feel like my tank just pulls them together to like see if we can do a good job of kicking the things we're supposed to kick. And inevitably we always fail. I mean, you'd think 3 melee could probably cover 2 casters with only 2 important casts that need to get kicked. But yeah, I don't know. We really could do a better job on this pull. I don't think we've ever done this pull without having at least 1 lubricate get off, and this was a bit of a even worse outlier than usual. But, you know, we don't wipe, so that's nice. Even the double loop was not enough to one-shot us, so we're going to have to clean that up for eventually when we do this on a higher key on Fortified, because this is not going to fly forever. Essential oils are kind of similar to that, except for the essential oil cast obviously is... you know, goes off quite a bit more often, and it does not one-shot nearly as bad as lubricate. Like, you can let like 1 or 2 essential oils go off back to back and you're not going to instantly die. You can get unlucky if you let 3 essential oils all go off at the same time and they happen to all go on the same person. That person's probably dead if they don't already have a personal up. Okay, so we're just doing the pride here. And I think we're committing a CD, maybe. Oh, I accidentally sniped Sev there. That's probably more his bad, but still. Usually the way we like to play our prideful is whoever gets the thing maybe moves minimally, just like the tiniest reposition if they feel like they need to, and then they sort of just hold still. So, yeah, maybe Sev thought I was going to move, but I didn't. So we're actually holding cooldowns here. Maybe I don't know what I commit here. I think I might have just committed an SEF charge. Yeah, I just committed an SEF charge because I know that Mana Storms, really, you cannot make good use of the Pride, actually. It's rather unfortunate, but that boss just doesn't really allow you to make good use of it. Same thing with Mozala. Not a lot of great bosses in here. I'm not a huge fan of any of the bosses in this dungeon, actually. I do like Hakar only because the nature of the boss forces us to save all of our cooldowns and we just delete him, and you know, who doesn't like absolutely annihilating a shitty boss? But like, that's not me liking Hakar, that's me liking doing lots of damage. So bad example there. So we're just punching this guy, and of course I just tell my friends, I'm like, okay, you guys need to go ham here. I don't have any cooldowns. I'm not going to have any cooldowns, but that's fine. You guys just pop off, and I will have Zuen and stuff up for Millie when she comes in. So we're just trying to do our mechanics here. I'm soaking the crystal. We're doing the line mechanic. I let a little bit go off there because I don't want to get hit by the line. Terrified of the line mechanic. I think for the first I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe more of this expansion, I literally did not understand the line mechanic at all. Unironically, I had no idea what the fuck was going on with the Z mechanic and the two arrows. So I'm going into soak here. We're going to keep soaking. We're getting him low. This is actually a pretty ideal life pool, I think. I don't know if there's a better way to do this boss, but it certainly feels like we got him to a pretty ideal life total. So here I'm telling Sykes, I was like, okay, Sykes, I'm pressing all my cooldowns. I'm going to start mashing, and she's going to mash right click on this boss. And I'll probably do it a little bit near the end of my cooldowns here. But the cool thing about the experimental squirrel is if you just sit there mashing right click on the boss and the squirrel spawns, you will hopefully right click on the squirrel instantly. And it doesn't look much like a squirrel. It looks like a bomb, but I think it's the mechanic is called squirrel or something. Experimental squirrel bomb, yeah, that's the name of it. And it'll spawn, and then you'll instantly right click it and will instantly disarm the bomb before it even has a chance to go anywhere. So I don't think I do it at all there because I'm inside of my cooldowns. That's actually really close what happened there. I don't think we talked about it at the time, but Sykes was actually going for the disarm because she's the best about just doing the mechanics that need to get done so that we don't fail the key. And she was doing the bomb while she got targeted by the stun AoE that needs to be dropped on top of Millie. And if she would have been any slower on disarming and jumping over, then we would have been in a world of hurt. I don't even know if we probably could have tanked one more tick of the bomb just because it is fortified. But oh my god, that was unbelievably close there. But we lived it, no problems. And we're making pretty good time now, as you can see. We're 2 of 4 bosses down. We have about half of our time left, but of course I think we are going to lose a bit of time in Ardenweald, so maybe it's a little closer than it looks. But luckily after we kill Dealer, we can get to Mwazala pretty fast. It's not like there's a huge gauntlet of trash waiting for us like there is for the other 3 bosses. So we're going to head over here. We're going to go do Ardenweald. We do have a couple more things we need to kill here. I think there's a little bit of trash up there. I don't know why I'm moving my mouse like that. No one else can see that except me. That was kind of bizarre. We're going to kill this Enraged Spirit. Maybe I'm just talking okay, guys, I can commit cooldowns. You should save your cooldowns for the next trash pack. Again, this is me trying to do a little bit better about not playing for overalls. It's not about how much damage you do at the end of the dungeon compared to everyone else. It's about whether or not you time the key and how much damage you do total as a group. Which is something I like to preach, but it's something I need to get better about practicing. And that's something I've been trying to do. I used to be good about it in BFA, but ever since they made Windwalker fucking overpowered as shit, my brain has grown, or my brain has shrunk 3 sizes. It's like the Grinch's heart, I was 2 sizes too small or whatever. It was like that, except for with my brain. So I'm popping off on this guy. Like I said to my friends, it's okay, as I'm committing all my damage here. I can TOD this. I think I'm probably going to TOD this because it's getting scary. See if I do. I do TOD. Yeah, so typically I would save TODs for prides. But let's be honest, that was kind of a scary pull. Oh shit, it looks like Sid bubbled here. Oh, that's scary. Okay, so Sid bubbling before this pull is actually really scary. Not because of this pull, actually. But because of the Ardenweald hallway, the Ardenweald hallway of doom. I'll talk about it a little more when we get there. But now we're just doing this pull here with the speaker and the erupting darkness. I actually don't know what Sykes died to there. I'm completely unsure. I don't think it was threat. It might have been threat. I see a bop up. I see somebody used bop. Maybe it's because we bopped Sev while he was popping off. And then I'm not able to kick that. I'm not able to kick that either. It's kind of cringe. Now I kick that finally. And then Sev kicks it with me. He's like, okay. He says, okay, Nathan, what are you going to kick? Come on. You're going to make me counterspell this shit. So we're just, we're knocking out this pull. This is probably the least clean of the 3 sort of what would I call these, like platforms that you have to do in this dungeon. Probably the least clean of all of us. Man, I really don't know how Sykes died there. Maybe she just got hit by a Dark Lotus. Because I thought maybe like she stole threat there and Sev got bopped, or Sev Taylor Swift didn't have threat, Sev got bopped, and then she was next in line. That's what I thought maybe would have happened, but it might have been just a Dark Lotus. So this is the Hallway of Doom. This is the most difficult pull, most difficult aspect of any dungeon ever in any video game that's ever happened. In any MMO. You can see I just run across no problem easy because I'm a monk. But you know, Sykes gets clipped a little bit there. Sid's on her way. Oh, she's struggling. She doesn't have access to bubble for this pull. That's kind of scary. You know, you need to be able to immune these kinds of difficult pulls. Oh no, she's dead. She's been got. I'm telling you guys, man. Anybody who sleeps on this pull, who says this is easy, says this walking thing is fine. Look at that. I just walk up and get hit there, dude. 80% of my life gone, dead. To vivify myself. I'm telling you, man. Anybody who talks shit says that pull is easy and consistent, dude, they don't know what they're talking about, dude. It's the hardest fucking portion of the other side. So we always try to save bubble for that. I'm being like, I'm 80% joking, by the way, but there is a very, the 20% is significant. Okay, so we're popping off here. Trying to get all these grouped together. Leg sweep is nice. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Leg sweep is something that I traditionally would love to save for kiting, but because we've been playing more with a fire mage lately, oh, I just get hit by something there. Because we've been playing more with a fire mage lately, I've been trying to get much better about saving it to like just keep the mobs grouped up, because flame patch can be a huge portion of the overall damage of a fire mage's AoE. And if you pull them out of the flame patch, which obviously a tank can't control that, he has to kite. It's, you know, it's Shadowlands. A tank's going to have to kite from time to time. If you can do your part to kind of keep the mobs inside of the flame patch, you can really increase your fire mage's overall damage. And I know this is probably not news to anybody, but fire mage is definitely the class you want to be playing around right now. So we're just pulling a couple things here. We didn't like quad pull that room. I think usually we do actually quad pull that room, but we did triple pull it, and we handled it pretty well. We didn't burst super hard. I kind of thought we would, but we did a good job of not doing that. And of course, my cat's in here. He's probably going to jump on my computer and turn it off in the middle of the recording, because that's what Harry does. He doesn't like it when he's not getting maximum attention, which is understandable. Just like mage players with you know, their class. Haha, just kidding. That's me projecting my own QQ about Windwalker nerfs. I'm kidding. So we're just handling this pull here. Definitely doing a little bit on the lower damage side here, because, you know, bursting does limit our ability to just mash our head against the keyboard and delete everything. But that's okay. It's not a huge deal. We're 14 minutes left at this point. We have room for a wipe. Like we are actually ahead of time. We are definitely not in danger of failing this key unless we make any more mistakes. And there's not really a lot of mistakes left to be made. I guess you can sometimes like accidentally overpull one of those like little guys that casts Frightened Cries, and then you don't kick Frightened Cries, and then you're in trouble. That's one way you can kind of get yourself in trouble during Arden Wield. But, you know, if you know what you're doing, and my tank really knows what he's doing, that doesn't usually happen. You can mismanage Arc Lightning, I think is the name of the ability. You can mismanage that on dealer. That can kind of wipe your group. That can kind of cause problems. But we really communicate that. We don't even use like a general like strategy of like putting markers down. We literally just say like, hey, I have the buff, I'm passing it. Hey, I have the buff, I'm passing it. And that works. So hopefully I'll get to show a little bit of that here. Maybe I'll just show myself misplaying. Who knows? Okay, so my tank is grouping up all the mobs. We're kind of just waiting right here for him to do that. Again, this is unfortunately the kind of pull that we can't really like go crazy on because of bursting. We do stun them all. Very nice there. Pretty nicely grouped up, actually. I think I press all my buttons here. Man, I think I don't know. I don't think I'm having the issue right now, but the other day I put Zuen on passive so he wouldn't fucking burst all the stupid mobs, right? And I left it on passive when he was getting respawned, and so I was like popping Zuen, and he was like doing like nothing. I was still getting the 30% haste from Invoker's Delight, so it's not like the cooldown was like literally useless, but I was like literally having like a passive tiger with me, and I don't think that's the case in this key, but it might be the case in the 19 Mists that I will also be uploading soon. I'll point it out if I catch it, because I'm actually kind of curious, because we murdered that Mists, and if we murdered it with me having Zuen on passive, well, I don't know. It means I probably need to be playing my class at a higher level. So we're just killing these guys, trying really hard not to burst them. Honestly, we're doing a really good job. You could see sort of like all these low health mobs with like slightly different health percentages there. That was that could potentially have been like a bursting nightmare, but everybody in our party played extremely well in terms of not popping these mobs and, you know, pushing onto that 4, 5, 6 stack mark. Right now with the current state of bursting and sort of what Holy Pallies can do outside of cooldowns, we are like max like upper limit is like 5. We do not want to go against 5. And I don't know what like something like maybe a Resto Shaman or maybe like a Resto Druid could like handle. Maybe that wouldn't be quite as bad. Or obviously a Priest can mass dispel bursting, and you can get away with a lot of nonsense like that. But even that requires some actual gameplay. I'm just like letting my tank take these stacks, man. I could be slowing these mobs. I could be dropping a Ring of Peace. There's so many things I could be doing right now to make my tank's life easier, but I'm just not doing it. I just got to do the dam. Just got to do the big dam, as they say. Pumpers only. XD. Okay, so that was like the last like hard quote unquote pull. And it's not even like really a hard pull, but that was like the last pull that like has the potential to go wrong. So we're popping off here a little bit. I press Zuen. He is not in passive, thank the Lord. I don't know if I choose to leg sweep this. I think I don't choose to leg sweep this because the pack is so small, like we can kind of just pop off on it. We can get 4 bursting stacks and be fine because it's just 4 bursting stacks. Sid can probably handle our life pools at 4 bursting stacks just by pressing Flash of Light and Light of Dawn and stuff. She doesn't even have to actually use real buttons. Okay. So we're moving on a little bit here. Trying to avoid the Matriarch, I think. I don't think he wants the Matriarch. If I remember correctly, he's noticing we're a little bit high on percent. The Frightened Cries. Okay, we're focusing this Frightened Cries here. Watch this hatchling. If Frightened Cries goes off, we get a Matriarch. If we get a Matriarch, this pull goes from very easy to very irritating. Like hard and long and dangerous to the tank if you introduce a Matriarch. Okay, so here we're noticing that I think we get Pride off these mobs, and I think what we do here is we just don't want to pull these guys. We're like, wait, let's back up. So we start backing up a little bit here. And then, yeah, we're just trying. We don't know how far the pack goes. We just know that we don't want to like fight those mobs. What we really want to do here is we actually want to just kill these mobs, get prideful, then invis pot to the boss, which is just a total like impromptu strategy. Nobody was planning on that. So I Ring of Peace that. What you can do actually, and this is just kind of like common knowledge for how CC works, but I just don't really use Paralyze to its fullest potential, which is why I don't do it here. But usually you can CC the front mob in a pat like that. Like, so for example, it would be the Elder Horn. And if you CC him, then the rest of the pat will cease to sort of like continue moving. And I think he stops moving here soon. I think, yeah, they don't cross the river there. They stop there. Man, if this wing wasn't just full of like nonsense, like this would be such a cool like dungeon wing. This is a very pretty area. Sid does die there. That's really not her fault. That's just like we had to move the Pride a lot, and having to move the Pride can get a little bit uncomfortable. But it's okay. We're still going in. We lost like maybe 5 seconds to her dying. Not a huge deal. We pop our invis pots. We have 8.5 minutes now with nothing but 2 more bosses to do. This is
fantastic. Like maybe we would be in trouble if this was like a higher tyrannical week and we were in danger of not, one phasing Wazala, but that's not even a question. We're one phasing this guy. And we're definitely fucking up Dealer. Dealer is getting annihilated. We like to lust Dealer because Wazala lust gets pretty wasted. You can actually lust Wazala by lusting right before people go into their sort of like shatter reality doors. I don't know what those are called. But you can lust that if you really want. But we've never really had an issue with one phasing. We just have people save all their damage cooldowns. Or, in my case, I just save one SEF charge and I save Touch of Death. Touch of Death is anywhere from like half to like 20% of the thing's life because it's designed for a single person to kill, right? So it's balanced perfectly for Touch of Death to just be unbelievably OP. It looks like I got hit by one of those like beam mechanics. I don't really know. And I also have the dot on me for being in the air. I don't really know what I did. I guess I just got hit by one of those beam mechanics. I think that's all it is. But I didn't realize it refreshed to 60 seconds upon getting hit or upon getting the bomb mechanic. That was something I did not know and is kind of unfortunate. So we're flying back over here. We're flying over the mobs that we invis past by Elder Horns. Continuing on here. And we're going to go make our way to Mwazala. We have 6 minutes. We're going to walk up to Mwazala. We're probably going to pull Mwazala with like exactly like 6 minutes and like maybe like 15 seconds. Maybe a little less. And 6 minutes to do Mwazala, even with a 2-phase, is very comfy. We only have 4 deaths. I don't even know where our other deaths come from. We had Sid die on that prideful there. Obviously, I just pointed that out, so I do remember it. I remember my own death at the start when I tried to haymaker a ghost. Man, that is a stupid death. That is a hilariously stupid death. There was no plane of reality where that play made sense, but I tried to do it anyway. I don't know. Sometimes I just want to use my Kultiran racial. It's fun. I don't know why I'm looking at my character. I actually just recently reworked all of my like enchants and gems and stuff because I've been using like lots of like verse enchants because just PvP, but I decided, you know what, I'm not going to PvP on this character anymore because I've been getting very frustrated with PvP in this character because I'm very bad at PvP. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna regem and re-enchant for optimized PvP or PvE, stats, which ended up being like a combination of like crit verse and I think maybe an Adu gem. So we're just knocking out Mwazala here. For those of you that don't know this fight very well, the damage on this first phase is not super relevant, but I know that there's like 6 minutes left in this key, so chances are I will get a second Zuen off unless we just absolutely just blast this guy. I almost go the wrong way there. That was actually really close. It probably is not a one-shot to get hit here, but the dot it puts on you is huge. So I pop all my CDs because I think there's a chance I might be able to get them off later. We're going to need a Soul Crusher here, and it's time for Shadow Reality. So we have to go kill our guy. Love putting my Transcendence there. Very good use of Transcendence. Also, acts as a free reminder of which thing I'm supposed to go to. So if there's even like a chance of me forgetting, it is not an issue. So we're just popping this guy here. We don't have to spend all our cooldowns. If you feel like your damage is bad, you can save Zuen Weapons of the Order for this guy, but he's just built for Touch of Death. Like, look at this. And he's dead. You literally execute him from like 40% life on a 18 fortified key. On like a tyrannical hierarchy, it gets a little bit lower, but I mean, it still ends up as like what? Like a 20%, maybe 15% execute. Yeah, I would not commit anything more than a single SEF charge and a TOD unless it was like a tyrannical key at like probably 20 or higher. Maybe 19 or higher. So it looks like my predictions on the Weapons of the Order Zuen was correct here. So we get another weapon Zuen off here. Not quite lining up with the haste buff from Bwamasandi, but we get like 2 seconds of it. No big deal. Popping off here. This key is just easy at this point. We're about to finish this with 3 minutes to spare. And this is actually our first 18 to other side. I'm really happy with how we played. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. You guys saw a lot of the mistakes, but I was really happy with how I changed my cooldown management. I was really happy with how we handled most of our kicks in CC outside of, well, you know, the lubricators, but we don't talk about the lubricators. Yeah, overall, there we go. That's 18 to other side. Fortified volcanic bursting. And there's our 19 mists. That's going to be the next key. Spoiler alert, that one was also timed because it's an easy week, easy key. Feels good, man. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this commentary and this key. If you have any questions about anything, Windwalker nerfs, Windwalker gameplay, DPS in, medium high keys, feel free to leave me a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.